Hey, guess what? I have a new camera. I bought an expensive camera. I wasn't smart enough to wait until Black Friday weekend. But anyway, I was like, I'm going to take myself seriously and do this thing. So, hopefully, oh, hi, Storm. Look, I got a new camera. Makes my hands look really big. Did you hear that? We've got a really blustery day, Pooh. It's very blustery. Let's see if I can make this full size for myself. Um, the main reason I'm going live today is because I had a revelation. And it's kind of a card formula thing. So, should I wait for more people to join? What day is this? Saturday? Yeah. So, hi, Gretchen. I was just thinking of the store because I was playing Pandora. Oh, which reminds me, I want to play it again. I want to start it again. I was playing Pandora and a song. Hi, Scott Allen. Which Scott Allen? I have two Scott Allen friends. Are you the musician or the web guy? I know the musician has a performance in Loveland tonight, and we probably won't make it because of the weather. But I have been thinking about you ever since you posted it. Hi, Crystal. Okay, so listen. Because on my phone up came one of the songs from the store, Lighthouse Bookstore where I used to work, and I was like, oh, Rick. Okay, but okay, this is a perfect song. My master, grant that I may be so much sweet to be consoled as to console. Let me seek not more to be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is pardon that we are pardoned. This is all of us being Jesus on the planet. And that's why this came on, because of this revelation I had. Hi, Steve. Okay, so we'll have that quietly in the background, but anyway, I know, right? So I know I'm gonna cry, and Jesus told me this was okay. I'm really tight with Jesus, and I'm not trying to push that on anybody. I just had this experience where it was like all too much, and it's like they've been showing me more and more and more darker shit. Like more and more crap keeps coming out of the rabbit hole in terms of what's been going on this planet. And pretty much every morning I wake up feeling like shit. So this is a two-pronged thing. One is a card thing. I discovered this formula. What is your moon card? That's your personal work. And what is your Mars card? That's how you show up in the world. And they're not the same thing, and they can make you feel like a hypocrite. But I was like, oh, I figured this out. So while I was working through my personal moon card stuff this morning and feeling like shit, my friend Chana, my dear friend Chana, hey Max, she said, that's not your stuff. That's stuff you're sponging off of the collective. And then you got to let it go. And I was like, I don't know if that's true. But thanks. That's a nice thought. It's probably my shit. I'm just never going to get over my shit. So then I proceeded to listen to a couple more videos about all the dark shit that's going on the planet. And finally it was like, oh, I think I'm going to puke. I can't take this anymore. And I went in, you'll hear from a lot of people, just turn off your YouTube and stop listening to it. And it's like, well, occasionally, yes, do that. When it's time for you to reset your own vibration, to wring out your sponge. We're sponges. This is my philosophy. And if this doesn't align with you, everyone has their own reality. That's the amazing thing about this planet. So anyway, After I listened to a bunch of this, I finally sat down in front of my altar because it's a really cold, windy, snowy day, and I don't trust my car out on the road, so I'm housebound again. And so I sat down in front of my altar and I just started meditating, doing some Kriya breath, which is a Yogananda thing with Jesus. And all of a sudden, I just started to cry really, really hard. And I cried and cried and cried. And I was like, I'm just going to do fucking Tonglen for the whole planet. We're just going to fix it right now. So I'm going to take everything into me, transform it with compassion, and breathe it back to Jesus, breathe the crap to Jesus, breathe the love to the planet. I was like, let's just get this taken care of. This Virgo in me, it's like, let's just fix the planet. And so I did that for quite a while, until I was just sobbing and cleansing all of this crap out of my crown chakra. And what my friend Shada told me was really true. I was like, oh my God, I have taken on a lot of shit from the planet. And that's just what I do. It's what we do. It's what we do as light workers. It's, well, not what we all do, but it's what I do. And if you watch me, chances are that's what you do too. And I just released so much of this garbage to Jesus. And then the look on his face, got this, that print of him that is this, it's such an icon, and definition of an icon is that you feel viewed by the icon, not just that you're looking at it. And Jesus just looked at me with tears in his eyes. He's like, oh, bless your soul for doing that. And I was like, what? And he said, you wouldn't want to take away the school that this planet is. You wouldn't want to ruin it for everybody, right? I mean, you can't learn everything for everyone. I was like, okay, that's really good. I needed to hear that. But I took on what I could take on and then released it, and apparently that's kind of what I do on the planet. And then I wanted to share this so badly, and I was like, why do I want to share this? And I think the reason I feel compelled to share, so if anybody wants to find out about their card and this formula, I can tell you what your formula is. So my Mars card is the 9 of Clubs, which is the teacher, to show up in the world and teach compassionate information. 9 is compassionate, universal, all-inclusive, and clubs are knowledge. So this is how I show up. On the other hand, my moon card is the 7 of Hearts, which is emotional pain and coming up against anything that is an obstacle to pure unconditional love. So I was like, oh, that's what I do. I feel emotionally fulfilled when I find the thing that's standing in between me and unconditional love, whether it's for myself or anyone else. That's why we call it the forgiveness card. It's also the day Q was born. That's why Q is near and dear to my heart. It's my moon card, my emotional fulfillment. So it's kind of like the thorn in my flesh. You know how Paul, not crazy about St. Paul, but he's like, I asked God for a thorn in my flesh to keep me humble. And for me, it's like, it's already there. That thing that is hard for you is always there. And you get better and better and better at dealing with it. And that is it's like your mastery in the world. So if you want to know what your moon card is and your Mars card, just type in your birthday and I'll give you this little analysis. But I was like, why do I always feel this way? Well, it's partly this thing I'm working on. I also have the Christ card in my hand, which is something that compels me to do that Tonglen for the whole world. It's part of my formula. So the cards just gave me an opportunity to just really step back from myself and my experience and say, this is your unique, this is how you show up in the world. This is how you have chosen to show up in the world. And yeah, there seems to be kind of a dissonance. It's like you'll never figure it out. Yes, you're compelled to be a spiritual teacher, but you're sharing part of your journey and what you're harvesting from that 7 of Hearts, and then you put it out there. So I just wanted to say, does anyone, okay, January 23. So you're the 4 of Diamonds. So thank you, Gretchen, for volunteering so I can use this formula on you. Shoot, I don't have the thing with me right now. I'm going to go get it. The visual aid. Okay, so here's the Four of Diamonds. This is your card, and this is also Annette's card if anyone knows their. Okay, Debbie, I'll do yours too. You are the day after. You're the Ten of Diamonds, same as my sister Terry. Um, okay, so anyway, and Ben Franklin. So the Four of Diamonds, your moon card, Gretchen, is the Four of Hearts, which means your emotional fulfillment is in seeking emotional security. How do I feel safe? What makes me feel like I'm home? Four is like these four walls. So that may include things like needing structure in your life, needing a plan, needing a predictable foundation. So that might mean that you don't have that, or that you've worked really hard to acquire that, and even though you have acquired it in many ways, it continues to be this thing that's asking for your attention. Does that fit for you? Okay, so then your Mars card, how do you show up in the world? Mercury, Venus, Mars is the Six of Clubs. So club is mental, like it's a teacher vibe, like I've got the Nine of Clubs. That might be one reason we resonate so much, is because we both are diamonds with a heart in the moon position and a club in the Mars. So resolving emotional stuff privately and then showing up in the world with this common sense. So Six of Clubs is a card of common sense, counseling people, helping them to feel grounded and balanced and safe. And it doesn't mean that you feel, okay, it doesn't mean that you feel grounded and balanced and safe. It means that you have the capacity to convey that in the world. But your challenge is to feel safe and secure. Okay, so far this is working. Okay, Rajan, yours is March 9th. So you are the Ace of Spades, I think. Oh, and I didn't even bring my book. Crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go get my book. Okay, so, and hi Margaret, nice to see you here. Okay, so March 9th, yeah, Ace of Spades. Okay, so you're two cards away from me. Okay, so Rajan, you are the Ace of Spades. So your moon card is the Three of Diamonds. It's a rather enigmatic card. It's like, give me a try. I will give it a try. The Three of Diamonds would be about, okay, threes have a hard time making a choice between this or this. They constantly feel like they're supposed to make a choice between this and this, but they are actually supposed to see in a non-binary way, a non-dualistic way. We can say that threes are like indecision. Oh, I'm so indecisive. But the truth is that you see more than one option. And living in a dualistic world sort of requires you to make one choice, but maybe you don't. Maybe you can have apple and pumpkin pie. But anyway, that's also a card of versatility. Threes are versatile, and anything that starts with a C, like communication, connection, creativity. They also like to experiment and try things. So that's your moon. That is what is fulfilling to you. Your Mars card is Mercury, Venus, Mars, the Five of Spades. So your passion in the world may be about experiencing things. I like to go, I like to do, I like to travel. Like I wake up in the morning and I have this kind of indecisive thing going on, and this need to be versatile and setting yourself up for situations where versatility is required. But the way you show up in the world, people might be like, oh, you just have the most amazing experiences, and you travel, and you're so much fun and so lighthearted. And what you're really dealing with, personally, is this three. The magic of the three is creativity, and the challenge of it is to focus and choose. But they're kind of sonorous with each other, a 3 and a 5. Okay, let's try the next one. Debbie Gregg. So Debbie, is this the Debbie that used to date my brother? No, that's somebody else. Oh my gosh. Is this my high school friend? Okay, so the Ten of Diamonds, Debbie. This is a common card, so if you're a Ten of Diamonds, you're in luck. The Ten of Diamonds moon card is the Ten of Hearts. So Ten of Diamonds, like a sense of involvement in people. Ten of Hearts represents a lot of people. The concept of family, the concept of bringing everybody in to make things work. And there may even be a feeling of obligation there, like how do I plug everybody in as a Ten of Diamonds? Because like you're Jupiter, so it's all about the big enterprise. Oh, I like the wide angle. I can get my whole wingspan. This is new. Oh, you're friends with my friend. Oh, okay. So does that fit so far? The Ten of Diamonds, I've never analyzed their moon card like that, but it's a need to get everybody involved in participating. So being a heart, it also means dealing with emotional overwhelm, too much. And because there's a 1 in there, there's perfection. And I know for a fact that 10 of Diamonds struggle privately with it. That's what dogs them, is I have to do it perfectly because I can. And it's all up to me. Okay, I have to do this because I can. I can do everything. So maybe part of that 10 of Hearts is delegating. Okay, what's your Mars card? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Ace of Diamonds. The way you show up in the world is as like your passion, your function. This is what distinguishes Mars from the moon. Is Mars is function and doing. It answers the question, what do I do? The moon card is what am I here to resolve emotionally? So you're resolving overwhelm and trying to deal with how do I do in a big group of people. And the Ace of Diamonds, again, it's another 1. So there's this whole perfection thing. No wonder you're dogged by perfection because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have at least 5, maybe 6 tens or aces in your hand, which vibrate to the number 1, which is all about, you should read the one, the Enneagram, the type 1, because they're all about perfection. So the Ace of Diamonds is really how you show up in the world, is taking risks and being a pioneer. Doing it in a way that no one's ever done it. So people are like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Look at you. You just struck out just like Benjamin Franklin and you invented all this stuff. You're a pioneer, and inwardly you're just like, so yeah, that's part of your contrast. Okay, so far this is really working. I have to use this cursor instead of my finger. That's different. Okay, I'm doing a live with my computer instead, which is different. Okay, does anybody else want me to analyze their cards? Janet! This is my new camera. Cameras work better when you pay more for them and then you use full sunlight. It's amazing, right? Janet, can I interview you? I want to interview people for my YouTube platform, provided they don't take me down on December 10th because I'm not financially viable. So fucked up what they're doing. They're going to take down so many channels. So if you follow someone on YouTube and you really like them, just really make an effort to get on their BitChute, to get on their Patreon, to get on their alternative platform, because all of us know this is coming and we're getting ready. And it does take a little effort to find people and subscribe. Like you have to go through a whole 2-minute process if you're going to switch from, you know, with Destroying the Illusion or iPod and you switch over to their BitChute. But anyway, I haven't really done that with my Patreon because Facebook is my thing. Oh, the creepiest thing happened with Facebook. So they're watching me right now, so I'm going to be very kind and nice, but I was flipping them the bird because I wasn't even recording a video. I was testing out a new camera one night and I was looking at them and just, I don't remember what happened, but all of a sudden I was like, I bet they can see me. So I flipped on the bird and I said, and I was being really nasty to Facebook, kind of pretending they could hear me. Well, guess what? Not only did they hear me, they recorded me and they posted that video on my page. Yeah, I got so freaked out, I deleted it immediately. And I should have taken the time to watch it to try to get the full picture of what was happening. But they just wanted me to know, we're watching you. Okay. Good. We love you. Okay, so I guess that's all of my, you know, this whole Jesus thing. Because we know what love is, it's really painful to be here, and there's just no way around that. So there are a lot of ways to relate to that. I'm going to do a card spread right now since I've got some people watching still. And if you want me to do that formula with you, analyzing your moon card, hi Lords, analyzing your moon card versus your Mars card and how that can make you feel like a hypocrite. I might have to explain it every time somebody new joins, but anyway, your moon card is your personal work. Oh yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Happy gratitude weekend. So I made a video on Thanksgiving morning, and you might scroll down and find it, but it's just a guided meditation. You just watch it and just close your eyes and listen and then go through this guided meditation. Okay, gonna do a spread. But yes, the formula for what makes you feel like a hypocrite is your moon card versus your Mars card. And if you really want me to, if you want a full reading on that, hey, contact me. If you want to do it like one question for $25 and just do it all via messenger, I can do that. Or we can go, I'm basically, what is it, $2 a minute? Is that right? 120 an hour? Yeah. I should be offering a deal. Okay, 100 an hour through Christmas. That's my new deal. Jana, I really wanted to analyze yours. Mercury, Venus, Mars. Oh yeah, you've got a good one. Okay, so just give me your birthday if you want me to analyze that Moon versus Mars formula. Otherwise, here is the reading for the day. The first two cards, Four of Diamonds, which was Gretchen's card. The next card is the Five of Diamonds, which is Janet's card. It just cracks me up. And do 7 of these, or should I? No, okay, my guides are saying 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 on the bottom, 1, 2 on the top. Okay. So Janet, yeah, I will go for it. I'll tell you really quick. So Janet's the 5 of Diamonds, September 5th. So your moon card is the 7 of Clubs, which means your emotional work. Yes, I will do 11/26 a couple of days ago. Happy birthday late. Okay, so let me figure out your card to see if we can kill two birds with one stone. I think you are the 8 of Hearts. You're the same card as, no, 7 of Hearts? 11/27 is my sister-in-law, and she's the 6 of Hearts. So you're the 7 of Hearts. Wow, you're right between this Ace of Spades and this 7 of Diamonds that I already did. So you are the 7 of Hearts. You're the Rumi card. Okay, but I'll do Janet's first. So the 7 of Clubs, Janet, your emotional work, being a 7, and this will relate to you a little bit, Lords, because you have a past life 7 over here, is you and I both have 7s in our moon position. This is one reason we're like, ugh, you know, chewing on our, just doing therapy together, is because 7s are all about overcoming an attachment of some kind. For you, it's mental attachment, mental idea. What's the obstacle in my thinking, and how can I get around that? And you being a 7 on the Enneagram fits really well because it's in the mental triad, and the 7 of Clubs is 7 mental. Clubs are mental. So that's your, it's, you know, getting from out a state of feeling out of alignment to being in alignment. So whenever there's a 7 in the moon position, there is a constant sense of distress that we're trying to correct. And it sucks, right? It sucks to be all of us, right? But the upside is that you gain a lot of insight, and that it's called the insight card, Janet. It's, you are emotionally brilliant, and she is my go-to when I try to figure out inner child stuff. She's done a lot of that. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Your Mars card is the 9 of Diamonds, which is, so diamonds represent business, generosity. She is an artist and is extremely generous with her time, her art, her praise, her support of other people's art. So this 9 of Diamonds is like, other people see this incredibly like generous, showing up, fount of constantly overflowing giving and kindness. And yeah, it's the card of the nonprofit. So it's like unconditionally supportive. And yeah, and yet you're like, Yeah, but I'm not real super clear on always feeling good about myself. So who am I to be telling, it's like that's the feeling of being a hypocrite. So the ace of, or the seven of hearts, lords, um, happy birthday a couple of days late. The ace of spades is your moon card, which is about um, what supports you emotionally is maybe constantly reinventing yourself. It's the card of new beginnings and transformation. Like, so new things, new beginnings. I like to start things. I like to start things in the physical because spades are physical. It's also a card of secrecy. So it applies to being secret and having secrets, having a whole, it's like I have this whole world that no one knows about, but it's also about looking past the veil and being, hi Pam, being very curious about what's on the other side. So that's your moon card. What's your Mars? Mercury, Venus, Mars. You're secretly into the mysteries of life, and your Mars card is the Christ card. We could almost say this was Jesus' card, the Seven of Hearts, because he showed up in the world as Jesus, but who knows what he was really into. He was really into the mystery. And of course, he had a sacred private life. Yeah, this is a very powerful comparison to Jesus. Think about Jesus' archetype. What was he trying to resolve personally, privately, all the time? He's going into the mystery, meditation, prayer, connecting with the infinite. So you show up in the world as Jesus. You show up in the world, what did Jesus do? He taught us how to love. That's what the Jack of Hearts is about, is to initiate other people in the ways of love. It's also about being self-sacrificing and giving, possibly even working with children. So that's kind of the contrast with you. It's like privately, I like to get into the secret thing, but out in the world, I'm this giver, lover, self-sacrificing person. So anyway, that's your deal. Did that fit for you, Lords? So if you're coming on and you're new and you want to know this formula, just let me know what your card is and we can look at that. So the reading for today, here's what's on the, whoa, 4-5, Queen 4-5. So let me just tune into my guides for a minute. So it's very important for us right now to ask the question, what is very important to me? That's what Four of Diamonds is, getting clarity on what is important to you. And it is about kind of cutting away all the fat. Because 4 kind of represents just what you need, not more. Like an 8 is power and 10 is abundance, but a 4 is just enough. So what if you had just enough today? What is it? What is that? What is important to you? The 5 of Diamonds is keep asking, expanding out. 5 has an expansive energy. Keep expanding in asking yourself, what do I want and what is important to me? Hi, Corinne. So I really do feel like for me today, I know this is true partly because of the weather and because I don't trust my car out on the roads today. I've been kind of housebound. Let me know how you feel, because I know the weather's different where you are, but it's kind of like I have to stay inside and go within today. And those two cards are all very much about, values, what's important to me, cutting everything else out just a little bit for just a minute. Queen of Hearts is in the center. This is what is your bliss? What makes you really blissed out and like fluffy, expanding clouds is what I'm seeing. Yummy. Hi, Ashe. And then we get another 4 and a 5. So 4 is about the spades, is about physical security and feeling grounded. It's so important to do the grounding right now. And then more 5 of Hearts is more, what do I really want? This is like, what is important? What do I want in terms of what is important to me? This is what do I want like a child? What feels good, what tastes good. So 4 is stability, 5 is exploration, and we have 4-5, Queen 4-5. So stability, little exploration, stability, little exploration. And I just wanted to share this really quick, this download that I got. Sandy, oh, it's so good to see you. So what was shown to me recently is that because there's so much energy on the planet, and we go through these waves where the whole collective is like, "Wah," you have a choice. You can go into anxiety and feel that, which is productive for the collective, because as you feel it, you're going to resolve it. You're going to find a way to feel better, and you're doing that work for everyone. Or you can take this vibration up and like go into prayer, go into creativity, go into dancing, get kind of crazy with it. So the other day I unplugged all of my TV equipment. I got this flex box and I figured out how to plug it in. I'm like, oh, now I can be distracted from living even more. So there was this high whine in the air from electrical equipment after I got it plugged in, and I'm like, that's creeping me out. And so I unplugged everything. And then I put on Amy Grant's Sleigh Ride. And I sang it and danced and sang it and danced, and then took a hot bath and danced with the dog, and took the energy up instead of like, I'm freaking out, I think I'm gonna. So both are good. I don't want to judge one over the other, because sometimes, you have stuff that comes up that needs to be dealt with. But what my guides showed me is that a lot of this really super high energy that comes through is like that scene in Harry Potter where he opens up the egg, which is a clue, and it's screeching, but he's supposed to open it up underwater. When he opens it up underwater in a different density, he hears a song. So I just wanted to share that. Some of the energy that's coming through, if you go into meditation with it, if you go inside, and a lot of these fours are talking about going inside, and the 5 is about the child and saying, what do I want? What's important to me? Where do I want to go? Okay, so from the earth, what is the support we're getting? Inner child. Aloneness. Just you. Like when I was sitting there meditating with Jesus, it was like, he's not looking at the job I'm doing. He's not looking at how self-sacrificing I'm being, or how efficiently I'm serving the world or fulfilling my emotional work. He's just looking at me and loving me. And after a little while, he's like, come inside my circle. And it's like there were a bunch of little chicks in there, and he was the mother hen. And there's a verse where he looks out onto Jerusalem. He's up on a hill. I think he's just raised Lazarus from the dead, and he's looking over this hill, and he looks at the city, and he says, oh, how I have longed to put you under my wing as a mother hen. It's one of the only references in the Bible of God as female. But anyway, he did that. He was like, come inside my little circle. And he was just loving me just for me. And then what's the other card? The support from the earth, King of Diamonds. Wow, that's a big one. Let me think about that. Because that's about, okay, I read this thing that I wrote this morning. And it was from like 2 years ago, and I was in meditation. No, it was a year and a half ago. It was this period of 6 weeks where I meditated for an hour every morning and got these major downloads. Like, I don't usually do that. Like, that's not to make you feel inferior because you don't meditate for an hour every day. Like, that was a really unusual period of time. I was compelled. I couldn't not do it. And one of the things that they gave me, one of the things I wrote is how lies are, if you're feeling like shit, or there's, really any of the oppression or hatred energy on the planet, any law that marginalizes people or doesn't take into account our humanity, or, there's just so much cruelty on the planet. Anything that is cruel, even your self-esteem yuck in the morning, is like, it's out of alignment with truth. It's just a lie. Anything that's not love is just a lie. It's not real. And the true vibration is the truth. And like what this is saying is like the sovereignty of truth will out. Like the Brits always say, the truth will out. Well, it can't not. And what they're showing me is that the energy of the planet and the truth vibration that it carries, that it is like whoa, it's getting stronger and stronger, and like making it more and more uncomfortable for any untruth to live here. So we're watching that on the political front with all the crap coming out, but it's also, this purge that we're going through, but it also happens on a very personal level where any way that you've been out of alignment, you're getting called on it. Have you noticed that? So, as another friend said, put the stick down. Don't beat yourself up, because a lot of our own shadow material is coming out as the truth expands. And yeah, like a lot of parental stuff has been coming up for me, my own parental guilt of having screwed up. And, it's just unavoidable. And you see it, you look at it, you honor the child and what they had to deal with. You hold space for them, and you don't have to beat yourself up about it. You just honor the truth. That's kind of finally where I've come with all that. Anyway, so what's coming through from heaven? We have Three of Hearts and Ace of Clubs. So the Three of Hearts is, and these cards are right next to each other. This is so funny. Three of Hearts, Ace of Clubs. They're the very first two cards in the deck, because over here it's Ace of Hearts, Two of Hearts in the spiritual spread. So it's like the very beginning. Hi, Jan. So right out of the gate is what they're telling me. So what are the Galactics telling me with this? Well, so I'm going to say something cryptic, and it may be a code, and maybe you'll get something. The energy of 3 coming from the Galactics. We all know that 3 is a really sacred number, and you don't have to cognitively get that for that to have an impact. But yeah, all the things that 3 represents, all those things that are popping into your head right now, they're sending a message of 3. Oh, something else really interesting happened. So a friend of mine said, I had a dream where they said 753 days. She was sharing it with us, and we're like, well, let's figure out what date that is. So we asked Siri, and she said that's December 20th, 2021. It's like, whoa, that seems like a big deal. And then what I noticed is that it's not a binary code. It's not ones and zeros like AI. It's 3. It's a trinary code, 2, 1, and 3. 2, 1, and 0. Energy of 3. Another insight that came through about that date is, okay, so something, they gave her a countdown of 753 days. It's like 751 today, according to and they didn't say what it was, but it was some kind of countdown. So if you think of December 20th, 2021, 2 years from now, we all want things to happen in a hurry. And we know that they're progressing really fast. We want the indictments, we want the arrests, we want justice to reign, we want the medical breakthroughs to come out. We don't want our relatives to die needlessly of a disease whose cure was discovered, whose cure was discovered a long time ago, blah, blah, blah. We want things to come to rights quickly. And the truth is, things are progressing very quickly, but no faster than the entire collective can handle it. Because as I've been kind of studying my galactic history, what I've gotten is that things got righted too quickly last time, whenever that was. And then there was a bifurcation between the good and the evil people. And it's like, we don't want to do that this time. Everyone is invited. Everyone needs to come. There needs to be love and healing instead of this splitting off. So for that reason, one of my little pet peeves is when people talk about the other Earth. It's like, I like this one. I came here to save this one. So did Jesus, I think. So anyway, the energy of 3. And what's the other energy coming down is Ace of Clubs. Who are you? So I really want to teach. I got this download about teaching a workshop on who am I and what is my purpose? Who am I and why am I here? And the workshop, whether I teach it or not, is all based on like archaeology. And I'm not an archaeologist, although I love Indiana Jones. If you were to find an artifact, how would you answer the question, what is this and what was its purpose? You would look at what? So you guys be my classroom. We'll just do a mini workshop right now to answer this question. What would you look at to answer that question for an artifact? I'm waiting for the delay. You would look at settings, surroundings, for one thing. You would look at evidence of use, like say a million years from now someone finds a combine in a field and they're like, what is this? So they find evidence that there was a farm there. They find evidence that maybe grain was cut. They find like a sharp edge on, or what maybe was a sharp edge on this. So in terms of saying who are you and what have you come for, you look at your setting. How have you set your life up in this present moment? What do you have a lot of? What do you not have enough of? What's right in front of you? And so, yeah, just answer that question. What's in front of me? Like I have a lot of empty space in my schedule because I'm self-employed, and I have a lot of blank pages, so to speak, which overwhelm my inner child, but force me to ask the question, what do I need and what do I want, and be creative. So it's like that's one of the things I've come here for, is to express my creativity, to fill up the space with my energy, and to answer the question, keep circling back to myself. The shape, size, color, potential use. Very good. Yeah. So what shape are you? What size are you? What color are you? What are you good at? What do you do? So this is a really good question. What do you find yourself doing? What do you find yourself compelled to do? What do you do a lot of? And you can be a little self-critical here, because then the answer, give yourself permission to be kind of ranking on yourself, because then the answer will come through really easily, but then take the judgment off of it and just go, okay, maybe that's my function. Like, do I talk a lot? Well, maybe it's my job to talk a lot. Maybe it's my job to articulate things. Maybe it's my job to put things into words. We all go overboard with our gifts, right? It's like if you're here to pair, you like the kitchen, the paring knife to pair carrots. Maybe you just do a lot of that, and maybe you just pair too many carrots, but it's what you're good at. So think about that for a minute. What do you do a lot of? I am so compelled to make these videos, and I deal with this, like all the obstacles I have to do it, and yet I still want to do it. I'm compelled to do it. And I think that, I don't know, one of the things I do is create this space for people to show up and not feel judged. You do a lot of art. Janet creates and creates and creates. Glue dicks. Glue things? Is that what you mean? Fix. You fix a lot of things. That's interesting. I fix a lot of things too. Are we troubleshooters? Max, what do you do? Max looks around a lot. Maybe he's supposed to be an observer. Characteristic that my family of origin had is that they seem to be able to go out in public and just watch people. And every once in a while, I would be like, Mom, stop staring at everybody. And she's like, yeah, but watch those people over there. I think one of her purposes was to be an observer. And she definitely had a 5 wing in the Enneagram, and they definitely sit back and observe. Dogs love. Oh, very good. They love unconditionally. Yup. Hmm. What else do you do a lot of? Okay, I'll draw cards for individuals if you want. Ding 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 ding. Giddy up, let's go! Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we. We snuggle close together like two birds of a feather would be. Okay, I'll stop. When you get a song like that in your head, you really should just put it on, because there may be a code or something in there that you just really need. There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending to a perfect day. We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop. When we wax up in the fireplace, what's a chestnut pop? Pop, pop, pop. Okay, Gretchen, a card. Gretchen, Ace of Diamonds. What do you want to start? Do you have an innovative idea? There's a lot of creative energy with this. They're saying, start something, a new beginning. Yes. Janet, my sister-in-law, we go back to when I was 11. You have to vacuum, enjoy seeing. Oh, I thought you were going to say, I do a lot of vacuuming. Okay, thanks, Debbie. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to draw a card for myself while I'm waiting for the next person, because that Ace of Diamonds was like, oh, I have a lot of new ideas. Paula, you get the Ace of Hearts. So, if I were out there, if I was a viewer out there, I would say, how much are you actually taking care of your inner child? You give a lot of lip service to it. No, I wouldn't say that to her, but I do. I give a lot of lip service to it, but I really have to do the work of stopping and listening. Because there are, like, one reason I focus so much on the inner child is that there are so many, my brother loves vacuums, there's so many overrides. I have so many overrides that say, don't listen to your inner child. Don't. Because if you do, you won't survive. Because that was the survival program. Pay attention to everyone else's needs, but not your own. And if you're a 2 or a 9 on the Enneagram, that's true for you too. So I have to work at it. And this card for me is like, really work at it. Like, get quiet, turn up the volume on your own voice, and listen to what she has to say. She's like, I want to go back in that Jesus space and talk to him and him alone, because that was really, really nourishing. It was really nourishing. Yeah, my brother loves vacuums. You know, I love to vacuum too. God, I love to vacuum. And you know that commercial where they have a bunch of crap on the floor and they're like, and it pulls it all. I love that. I just love that. It's so perky. Okay, anybody else? So Gretchen, yeah, new idea, start something. I love that. Okay, anyone else? I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna have some chicken soup. Bye.